right, so we're going to get our program started. Good morning. Good day, friends. It is noon, and we are going to officially welcome you to State of the City 2024. Come on in and please find your seat. We'll close those back doors. Thank you. So good day. My name is Janelle Capra, your President and CEO of the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, and I'm thrilled today to welcome you to State of the City 2024. This event, as we gather, we hope that you will have opportunities to connect, to collaborate, and really it's all about us in this room to convene so that we learn more about what's happening in our city to build a better Bakersfield. An event like this, of this caliber, is not possible without our stakeholders and sponsors, so I would like to recognize them now. We have Adventist Health and Kaiser Permanente as presenting sponsors. Our gold sponsors, Chevron, Dignity Health, Mercy and Memorial Hospitals, Hey Salty, Valley Strong Credit Union, our silver sponsors, AES, Clean Energy, the AES Corporation, Bolt House Fresh Foods. We have a special treat from them at the end of this event. Our bronze sponsors, Educational Employees Credit Union, Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Kern Family Healthcare, Varner Brothers, Inc., and Western States Petroleum Association. Thank you all for helping us make this lunch possible. Now, as you see on your screen, there's an opportunity to participate, and so I encourage you, along with your phone, to play along as we get to know each other, our neighbors, and a little bit about the city of Bakersfield. So let's begin. I have to put mine in first. Hold. And you do have the option to include your email. That is optional. Okay, so you want to join the event. As you can see, many of us are joining. Are we ready to participate? It's Slides with Friends, State of the City 2024. Let's go. First question. We're ready, yes? The average answer is yes, so that's good to hear. And I'm watching for those who might have said no. I can see you. Okay, so we're going to go through 5 questions that we carefully curated to just bring some fun and entertainment this morning. Here we go. Which of the following selections is your favorite Bakersfield restaurant? We'll try that again. Here are your choices: Frugatti's, Mexicali, Flamin' Fire, or Luigi's. Go ahead and make your selections now. Okay. And the results are? Overwhelming Luigi's, okay. I'm Italiano, I agree with that. Next question. From the following selections, what is your favorite Bakersfield sound? Buck Owens, Mento Buru, Corn, Merle Haggard. Go ahead and make your selections now. All right, and the results are interesting. Okay, Corn for the win here over Buck Owens. Our next question. Which of the following selections is your favorite place to shop? Belcourt Village, the outlets at Tejon, the shops at Riverwalk, or the Valley Plaza? All right, and who do we have as winners? Overwhelmingly, the shops at Riverwalk. Okay. From the following selections, where is your favorite place to play? The Fox Theater, Mechanics Bank Theater and Arena, maybe Windwell's Preserve. We get out there? Anyone take a hike? Or the Kern County Fairgrounds? All right, and our music is popping. Mechanics Bank Theater, yes. Raise your hand if you've been there in the last month for a concert or event, maybe, yeah? Yeah. Okay, our next question. This is an important one. You might really have to think about this. Which of the following is your favorite Greater Bakersfield Chamber signature event? The annual installation, our beautiful Bakersfield Awards, State of the City, or the Holiday Mixer? Make your selections now. All right. And the results are, ooh, almost a tie. Beautiful Bakersfield Awards and State of the City. I appreciate that answer, as many of you were at both of events, and we thank you for being here. We have a bonus question for you. This is where you get a chance to type in, where do you call home? Your neighborhood, your community. Let's see where we all live in the beautiful city of Bakersfield. Amazing. Look at all of those answers. So all of you in this room represent what makes Bakersfield beautiful, and together today we will talk about the state of the city, how we build a better Bakersfield. You will be hearing more, but as we get started, I would like to introduce Battalion Chief Tim Ortiz to be able to lead us in the flag salute and then remain standing from invocation from David Go. Thank you.
Okay, so you're probably confused. I'm not Mr. Ortiz. I'm Perry Finzel. Mr. Ortiz is on a fire right now. So let's salute our great nation. Are you ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
As you remain standing, thank you for allowing me a few moments to give us a moment of reflection and offer prayer. Political violence is a wake-up call, whether it is the attempted assassination of a presidential candidate or the threat of harm in our own city council meetings. And may it awaken resolve, not fear, determined hope, not bitter resignation. But the roots of political violence reflect a condition that is far broader than politics. If we sustain a culture that makes a hobby out of hate, wins by exaggerating our opponent's views, demonizes differing opinions, we will further the divide and the dysfunction and imperil the future of our children and grandchildren. What can each of us change in our communication, our rhetoric, our assumptions, that can be the daily step towards a more united community? Can we again have conversations instead of competing sound bites and online trollings? Can we listen to each other's stories instead of prejudging motives? Ultimately, the state of a city is not about who has power or influence, who can control market share, who determines curriculum, who can amass the voting blocks. The state of a city is ultimately about the state of the hearts of its citizens. Let us each take this opportunity to ask ourselves the state of our hearts and adjust and align our words and actions towards a more perfect union and shared prosperity. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you from all different walks of life, all different perspectives of faith, all different life experience, but we find common ground on all our need for grace. None of us is perfect. None of us understands perfectly. We all need help. We need help from each other. Above all, we need help from you. And so in that grace we come and ask for your blessing upon our community. Every diverse sector, every child, every male, every female, every person who is thriving, every person that is hoping to thrive again. And on behalf, Lord, of the city of Bakersfield, we are asking, Lord, for a fresh grace in how we relate to each other, that you would bring unity, and with unity, bring prosperity. Father, we submit these prayers to you, and I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated.
Okay, and before we officially get to our lunch, we want to welcome to our stage, representing our presenting sponsors, Kiyoshi and Maybell, Adventist Health, and Kaiser Permanente.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maybell Liquigan, Senior Vice President for Kaiser Permanente, Kern County. As some of you may know, part of our mission is to provide high-quality, equitable care and to help improve the care of our members and the communities that we serve. So I'm very excited to showcase what we do to ensure that the city of Bakersfield is thriving.
And on behalf of, I'm Kiyoshi Tomono. Derek made me do this. He paid me to do this. It's force of habit. Sorry, Derek. All right. On behalf of Adventist Health and our facilities across Kern County, we are proud to partner with Maybell and our friends over at Kaiser Permanente and all the work that we get to do across Kern County. As David was mentioning, there's a lot of hope and a lot of amazing things happening in this community, and we want to share some of those with you today.
Adventist Health and Kaiser Permanente are working together to meet the healthcare needs of our community. And we're delivering on a promise to partner outside the walls of our facilities to impact well-being so that everyone, everywhere, can live longer, better, and thrive.
Kaiser Permanente and Adventist Health work together to meet the health and social needs of our Bakersfield and Kern County residents. Whether it is providing high-quality medical care or investing together and expanding the next generation of healthcare workers, our partnership to improve the overall health of our community is deeply ingrained in both of our organizations' cultures.
In the meantime, Adventist Health continues to expand its vast residency programs and will be training doctors right here in Bakersfield by 2025. We're currently training 56 residents in the Central Valley, and last month we graduated 12 physicians, and the majority will be staying to serve in one of our 128 clinics in Central California. Our extensive care network also includes 8 hospitals, providing the only hospital care in many communities, including Hanford, Tulare, and Delano. Adventist Health is also the home to the AIS Cancer Center, where 70% of Kern County women choose to receive their breast care. Our world-renowned oncologists and specialists use cutting-edge technologies and trailblazing treatments to help patients in our communities receive the necessary cancer treatment they need.
Kaiser Permanente has 10 locations throughout Kern County that provide a combined $418 million a year in employee salaries and physician compensation. Additionally, Kaiser Permanente provides $232 million annually to local hospitals, ambulance companies, skilled nursing facilities, and ambulatory surgical centers that provide care to our 120,000 members locally.
Last year, Adventist Health and Kaiser Permanente contributed $66 million towards charity care and important programs that target food insecurity, mental health, homelessness, and promote healthy lifestyles. Together, we're collaborating on the Blue Zones project in Bakersfield to make our streets more walkable, reduce tobacco sales to kids, and increase well-being initiatives at workplaces. We've even partnered with the city to put on a community cycling event that drew hundreds to the Centennial Corridor before it opened.
Adventist Health and Kaiser Permanente are investing together to provide quality healthcare and community well-being because we believe in a brighter, healthier future for the city of Bakersfield.
All right, we're going to take a quick 20-minute break for lunch, you guys. Thank you.
Good afternoon. So, how many Boston Red Sox fans in the room had Jarren Duran hitting the game-winning home run last night? Nobody's listening, are you? All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Rob Duco, and I'm the Public Affairs Manager for Southern California Gas Company here in Kern County. And I have the pleasure this year of serving as the Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Would all the members of the Chamber Board of Directors who are in the room please stand up to be recognized? I'm not sure how many are here. I know there's more than me. Thank you all for your service to the Chamber and to the businesses who are in this room who are members of the Chamber. SoCal Gas has been a member of the Chamber of Commerce for almost 100 years and has been a part of this community for longer than that, delivering clean, safe, affordable, and reliable energy to your homes and businesses to make your lives better. Today, we're the largest natural gas utility in the United States with a goal to be the cleanest, safest, and most innovative energy infrastructure company in America. Just as access to energy improves lives, access to information can also improve your business prospects and personal and professional life. Now, I'm not talking about any so-called information you might find on social media trying to suck you into some plot, ploy, scam, or rumor mill, but real verified information. This is what your Greater Bakersfield Chamber can do for you and your business by providing you with good information. And this is what our City of Bakersfield leaders are going to impart to us today. Starting us off today is going to be City Manager Christian Clegg. Many of you already know Christian, as he has been serving in this role for a little more than 4 years. He started in this job right about the same time that the COVID pandemic started. Now, please don't go posting on social media that I said Christian brought COVID to Bakersfield. That's how the rumor mill gets going. I only use this as a historical time reference and to point out that Christian has been facing some serious issues from the time he became our city manager. Christian will be joined later by Mayor Karen Go. But for now, please join me in welcoming Christian and then continue eating your lunch while listening to the sound of something better.
Good afternoon. And I can only get better from here after being blamed for bringing COVID. It's great to be with Chamber members and members of the Bakersfield community. It's wonderful to be together. I brought up some extra water. My voice is already spent from chatting so much in the lobby and catching up with everyone. It's great to be together. We recognize that we have many elected officials from other cities. We have representatives from, of course, our city council, and from the county. We have representatives from our legislative delegation here in Sacramento, and we also have representatives from the governor's office. So we thank you for so many to join us today to focus on the important work that's happening here in Bakersfield. The recent Beautiful Bakersfield Awards were so much fun this year that the contrast between that and the state of the city has really been on my mind. And I'm not buying the votes. You guys are just trying to suck up on who thought the state of the city was the most exciting. Beautiful Bakersfield Awards are a lot of fun. And I'm sorry that city government is just so boring. But thank you to the Chamber for making it more interesting, livening things up, and providing us with the sounds of something better. Thank you to Izzy and the Finns for helping us celebrate the diversity of our community. As folks came in, you heard different versions of the streets of Bakersfield as you joined us. But I do suppose that the state of the city is a bit of a more serious matter, but we'll try and keep things a little bit interesting for you today. So what is the state of our city? I think that the best way to keep things interesting and engaging and set the context for the state of the city is to share some public administration theories on systems approaches and bureaucratic efficiency. You get 30 seconds to take that all in. No, okay, so not really, guys. We're not going to do that, but I do want to reflect for just a minute about local government. And we are going to talk about some efficiencies, but in a little bit of a different way than the slide that you saw. So the role of local government isn't, and particularly cities, is not to do everything. Our role is to build a community foundation on which families, individuals, and businesses can then create successful lives, successful businesses. And of course, those core things that a municipality provides are things like core infrastructure, streets, sewers, water, public amenities. It also includes having fair rules and deciding how we build out our community and use land, and it clearly involves police and fire protection. But in order for us to provide this foundation on which businesses or community-based organizations can be successful, we have to be an efficient, well-run organization. Like most of you, I am weary of the statewide crisis related to homelessness and crime. All cities are doing the best that they can to hold back this tide of mental health, drug use, and quality of life crimes, and in that, Bakersfield's not unique. All cities are facing these tough impacts. But there are some things that do make Bakersfield different. And Pastor Go, I appreciate your comments about resolve. We're going to talk about resolve today, and also about bringing people together. For my part, I have and will continue to make a commitment to bring people together instead of push people apart. And I think it does speak to the hearts of the residents of Bakersfield. So in my remarks, the first thing that I find to make Bakersfield different is the good, hardworking, and I have found very friendly people that make up this community. That's part of what makes us different and allows us the ability to take on these challenges that we're facing. This is a very resilient place with folks who have found ways to get things done. People in Bakersfield figure things out. We're fighters and survivors, and there are 2,000 of these fighters that work for you every day as dedicated City of Bakersfield employees. Our city staff recently adopted a new mission statement and guiding principles that express our public service values. Our mission statement states, "We shape and grow our vibrant community because Bakersfield cares." And those letters and cares are reflective of our values, which include collaboration, accountability, resourcefulness, excellence, and stewardship. And when we were landing on those values, we had deep conversations about being a resilient and persistent organization. But not only being resilient, but being creative and resourceful. And like all of you who work so hard for your organizations and your businesses, I promise that our team of city employees will work hard, work smart, and work tirelessly for this community. Bakersfield really is the sound of persistence. We don't quit. Another thing that makes Bakersfield different is that we're in a growth period. That's good news for us. We're not seeing severe cuts to our revenues like many other cities, and we're able to strategically grow some programs and services to where there are the areas of greatest need. We have a very aggressive capital projects program. We're doing a lot of work in the community. And to be sure, we have serious challenges to solve for creating jobs and economic diversification and serious pressures on maintaining affordability in our community. But we're growing. We're continuing to grow in population. We are the 9th largest city in California, soon to be the 8th largest. And this is in a time when many large cities are actually losing population. We're actually growing. The future of California is in the Central Valley, and the future of California is Bakersfield. We're seeing growth in our assessed valuation. There's more assets and wealth. We're also seeing that many residential and commercial projects are moving forward and coming online every month, and Mayor Go is going to share some of those examples with us today. And business is growing. We've seen double-digit growth in new business starts in the past 3 years, And in particular, over the first half of this current year, 2024, we've seen a 45% increase in business starts compared to last year. So we absolutely are growing. And we're also growing as a city organization in how we serve the community. So to transition to some important highlights or updates, what has made it possible for the city as an organization to be able to grow and do more? I do sincerely believe that the hard work and leadership of the women and men who are serving this community is part of that big impact, but that progress would just not be possible without the investment of Measure N. So I hear the question, where has the Measure N money gone? What is it being spent on? Why hasn't Measure N solved homelessness? Sorry, folks, it's not going to do that. I know everyone wants immediate results, and so do I. But this funding wasn't just a 1 or a 3 or a 5-year investment. It's a 20 or 30-year investment in this community, and there aren't many financial investments you can make that yield large returns on a 5-year term. If you know of some, please let me know. Investments take time and persistence to pay off. So what are we getting for that Measure N or PSVS, Public Safety Vital Services Tax investment? What you really invested in was a city organization that isn't broke. The city was close to broke, folks, just so you know. We don't have a lot of money, but we have enough now to be strategic. We can make some moves, be more efficient, address priorities, seize opportunities, and pursue a consistent long-term strategy. For the first time in decades, the city can actually invest in becoming more innovative and a smarter organization. So I'm going to cover some specifics from the Public Safety Vital Services Tax in the context of our City Council goals and the PSVS priorities. So each year at the State of the City, we cover public safety, homelessness, economic development, quality of life, and our street infrastructure. We know everybody cares about their streets, and I promise we'll cover those areas. But as I alluded to earlier, I am going to start a little bit differently with the exciting topic of government efficiency, and then we'll work our way back up from there. So maybe it doesn't seem like the most exciting topic, but it is the backbone for consistently delivering quality services to our community. It's how we put our strategy and creativity and wisdom to that persistence and hard work that we have. And frankly, it's my job. I know you all want us to be effective with your taxpayer dollars. So over the last 3 years, even though it hasn't been in the newspaper, we've been quietly making modest investments in performance audits, process improvements, employee development, things that make your city more effective. And it's paying dividends. PSVS paid for a $20 million replacement of our core financial and personnel software that was 30 years old. We had green screens. And it's paying for other important technology solutions that make it easier for residents and businesses to do business with the city. This funding paid for a $25 million upgrade to our regional public safety radio system so that police and fire can be effective in their work. PSVS also made it possible for us to hire state and federal lobbyists and dedicate staff to policy advocacy and grant applications. We're the 9th largest city in California, and we're starting to act like it in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. In fiscal years 2018 and 19 and 2019 and 20, we received $10 and $26 million in grant funding. In recent years, we've increased that grant funding to $41 million, $32 million, and in this last fiscal year, $61 million in competitive grant funding. This isn't direct allocations or ARPA monies or CARES. Thank you. Since 2020, we've brought in $155 million in competitive funding, and if you think about just the last 2 years, that's $100 million. To put that in comparison, Measure N, or PSVS, brings in $100 million annually in new tax revenues. So in business terms, over the last 2 years, that's a 50% return on your taxpayer investment into your community. These grants are funding road projects, park projects, affordable housing, safety equipment purchases, many important things for our community. I should also note that some of these funds are federal earmarks. For the first time in a long time, the city was a recipient of a direct funding allocation, and so we thank Congressman Valadeo for a $5 million allocation for our Martin Luther King Boulevard street improvements. And this coming year looks to be even better with multiple requests from Congressman Valadeo, Congressman Fong, as well as a joint request from Senators Butler and Padilla for Martin Luther King Park reimagining. We're working it, and we're bringing dollars to Bakersfield. Shifting to some of the other things that were asked of for Measure N. You wanted fiscal stability for the city, and you're getting that return on investment as noted. We've also put away $50 million into reserves. Prior to this new funding source, we had very little reserves. We are now prepared for what may come. We have our rainy day fund set aside. You also asked for jobs through economic and workforce development, and we've now created an economic and community development department. For the first time in a decade, the city has had staff to support business grant programs. We've given away $3.8 million in economic opportunity area grants in 64 different projects. We've also worked on more than $500,000 in our business security grants, with more to come. We've been investing in our chambers, in KEDC, B3K, and other local and regional strategic planning efforts that the city has not been a part of, again, for more than a decade. We've created an urban revitalization fund and downtown revitalization fund that are respectively investing millions of dollars into purchasing blighted properties and putting public infrastructure for our downtown. And in a few minutes, again, Mayor Goh will share more highlights and announcements related to this area of economic development. You also wanted enhanced amenities for improved quality of life and enhanced neighborhoods. And we have made unprecedented investments in amenities, parks, neighborhoods, and our streets. So we're going to share with you a video, and I'm going to continue talking as the video runs. But we want you to see these incredible sights of Bakersfield as I enumerate more of the investments that we've made. And I hope this video gives you a new perspective on the scope of our beautiful community and how amazing that it is and how diverse that our community is. You asked us to keep public areas safe and clean. We've contracted with first 6, then 8, and now 11 cleanup crews to clear litter and debris throughout the city. We've created regular pop-up trash and bulky item collection events throughout the city, and we've increased our neighborhood cleanup efforts. We've completed, as you can see here, more than 40 park projects in the last 4 years. You've also asked us to focus on neighborhoods. We've created 2 prosperity neighborhoods and invested in what we're calling place-based revitalization initiatives, for one of which we pursued and received a $22 million Transformative Climate Communities grant. And we're investing in prevention programs throughout our neighborhoods of greatest need. One example that I'm proud of is the expansion of ours and our branch libraries. We've demolished or acquired more than 100 blighted properties to clean up and reinvest in our neighborhoods. We've completed more than a dozen projects at city entertainment venues, and we've invested $5 million in upgrading street lighting throughout the city. You also asked for better roads. Compared to 2020 till now, we've increased street paving dollars by 50% and the number of completed streets projects by 50%. What that means in dollars is that we've spent $136 million over the past 4 years working on repaving city streets and getting them up to a better standard. That's on top of $147 million that we've used completing our highway projects. This coming year, our roads budget is $82 million. And that big increase is in large part due to our ability to successfully acquire those additional grant funds that we've been going after. So we are aggressively addressing street repaving throughout the city. I should point out that's not all Measure N dollars, and appropriately so, but Measure N made it possible to increase our staff capacity to pursue that funding, manage these projects, and get things done. You also wanted safer roads, and we've invested in traffic safety demonstration projects, expanded our bike lanes, and funded additional multimodal paths. And we're investing in complete streets that have better lighting, sidewalks, and medians that are more attractive with better landscaping. And of course, as noted earlier with the cycle centennial comment, you wanted the highway open, and it is open. Now, you also wanted to get onto 99 and 58 from all directions, and we know that that's not there yet, but it's coming actually. So we're missing a couple pieces of that interchange, but one will begin construction this year, and the second will begin construction, we believe, in 2025. So we're getting close. Also, we're investing in the look and feel of our 99 corridor. We have $2.4 million this coming year to begin enhancing the look and feel of our highway corridors, because we know it's a big part of our community, but also how we welcome folks to our community. So as you can see from this video, we live in a beautiful place. Bakersfield deserves to have nice amenities, quality roads, and remarkable public spaces, and we won't quit until you have them. Now, shifting gears to public safety. You asked the city to address homelessness. In a few minutes, Mayor Go is going to address this topic more in depth. But in summary, the city invests $20 million each year to address homelessness. And without our new funding, we wouldn't have a dime of local dollars to put towards homelessness. And I'll acknowledge you may not like what you see every day, but just imagine what it would be like without these investments. And I know that we wouldn't like the results if it weren't for this opportunity to address homelessness in the ways that we have. You also asked us to maintain a high-quality fire department, and we restored some reduced staffing with 13 new fire personnel to get at fire response times. We've also created 3 new fire rescue squads with an additional 12 firefighters, and that they have dramatically decreased our response times at a much lower cost than it would have been to add new stations. And we've made long-deferred upgrades to our fire stations and fire equipment, and we've also pursued innovative practices because we can now for things like our arson investigation and our arson canine, Duke the dog. You wanted increased police staffing. We have hired more than 200 police officers over the past 4 years to get to our net gain of more than 70 additional police officers. We've hired 41 code officers to address blight and homeless encampments. We've hired 18 park rangers to protect our public spaces. These are not small numbers. These are many additional individuals that are impacting our community on a daily basis. In police, we've also been able to grow and reestablish or create specialized units, our special enforcement unit, traffic unit, quality assurance unit, impact unit, community engagement unit. Everything's a unit. But these mean we have specialized, smart, hardworking folks targeting the biggest issues that we're facing from a public safety standpoint that did not exist 4 years ago. You also wanted faster response times. Priority 1 responses have been down slightly, but nothing I'm going to celebrate over, but we remain below what is considered the national standard, which is a good thing, below the amount of time that it's supposed to take to get there. But more importantly, we knew we had challenges with our priority 2 and priority 3 calls. We've emphasized our work in that area, and we've seen a 6 and a 12-minute reduction for both of those call types over this last year. You also wanted improved 911 call waiting times, and so we've seen a 2% increase in the number of 911 calls answered within 20 seconds, putting us really close to achieving the national standard for that metric, and we think we'll get there this coming year. And we're seeing great results continued through our partnership with Kern Behavioral Health, with their clinicians in our 911 center diverting more than 80% of the calls that they take don't ever have to be dispatched out for patrol to respond to, saving our police time to focus on the biggest issues. We're policing smarter, not just harder. You also wanted lower crime, and by the numbers, we saw a 12% decrease in overall crime in this last year. We saw specifically a decrease also in property crime, in robbery, and in auto theft. We do have some concerning data pointing towards assaults and domestic violence. They're going to be a focus for us in the next year because we've seen some increases in those spaces. Specifically, we heard the community ask for a decrease in gun violence and in homicides. And 2023 saw a 29% decrease in homicides. And that was on top. Last year we reported we had a 40% reduction in homicides. This last year we saw a 29% reduction on top of that original 40%. We also saw similar reductions in just shootings in general and a reduction in activations in our ShotSpotter system. And just to put it into perspective, these are some of the largest decreases of any large city across the nation. Folks are asking Bakersfield, what is Bakersfield doing to see these types of results? You also wanted an end to retail theft and vandalism. I won't declare that we've seen an end to that, but our police department created a team specifically to address organized retail theft. Again, because we have additional resources, we created a team just to focus on this. We also pursued a $6 million grant to help support that team, and we've partnered with numerous agencies, including support from California Highway Patrol, to combat this issue. So since October of last year, as you can see on the screen, 500 arrests, 600 cases closed, $400,000 in recovered assets, and we've seen a significant reduction from October to December of last year to January through March of this year, a 23% reduction in retail theft. We know more needs to come to you, our businesses, and we want to support you, but PD is also sharing that the businesses that have engaged most with police are seeing even greater reductions than these 23% reductions in retail theft. We're going to continue to keep at this issue until our businesses are safe. I'll take one or two claps. Just a couple pieces about some also interesting things that are coming in this new year. We're adding an innovative new tool for policing. We're creating a real-time information center where the police department can gather data and information into one source with multiple technologies and data sources. And we're expanding our video surveillance to, again, to continue to police smarter and to be more efficient. And we've also, again, over time, been able to make important improvements to our police training facility, to our body-worn cameras, our ShotSpotter notification system, important investments that have only been possible through this additional funding that we have received. Lastly, you wanted law, order, and accountability in this community. And I assert that we are making progress, but unfortunately, we cannot deliver accountability on our own. We have increased our capacity to deliver services and to do enforcement. Those 70 additional police officers are making a huge impact in our ability to do enforcement. But it does not matter how much money we put into homelessness if the accountability and support systems for criminal justice, substance use, and mental health are inadequate. Those are not necessarily the responsibility of the city, but we want to be very good partners, and we're going to do everything we can to support those partners in those agency systems to get after these issues because, again, it's all our community, and we have to work together to make that happen. After I conclude, Mayor Go is going to take this topic head on and share some additional thoughts. But let me close, reiterating just a couple of points. Again, we are poised for an incredible period of growth for our city. Good days are ahead for Bakersfield. You invested in Bakersfield with Measure N, and that investment is absolutely paying off, and it's going to continue to increase in payback over time. This is just the beginning. We're just getting started. So many good things are coming. Today was a summary of some of those good things, but if you want to know more, you can find this progress and information about all of this without having to come and wait a year to hear it next year. You can follow our progress at our city and our department pages, and these QR codes will take you there. We can also send this out to folks afterwards. But know that in our online presence, we can share much of this information on a very regular basis, and we're excited about our growing communications team that's helping us to continue to better tell our story and get this word out. Again, another investment possible through our additional funding. I promise that your city team will match the resilience and persistence of this great community. We won't quit. We don't quit. And even better, we won't just persist. We're not here just to survive. We're here to thrive. And so I promise again that we will keep getting better. We're going to get smarter, and we're going to do more and more. And I can't wait for you to see all the wonderful things that we are going to accomplish. So dream big, Bakersfield. Our future really is bright. And since we don't quit, we're not done. State of the City isn't over. Help me welcome our mayor, Karen Go. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, and welcome to this place of grace, as Pastor prayed, a place of grace where united we can pursue and set as a goal prosperity for all. Thank you so much, Christian. Thank you, staff. Thank you, City Council colleagues, for your efforts to create the sound of something better. And Greater Bakersfield Chamber, to all of you chamber members, thank you for building a better Bakersfield. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for our businesses and residents who press forward with grit and determination, even under the most challenging conditions. With the tragic events of this past week and the caustic rhetoric in our country, let us turn to the wisdom of Scripture. I call upon our city to unite in pondering and pursuing whatever is true, whatsoever is honest, what is just, what is pure, what is right. Today I'm going to highlight the sound of tenacity. That's all of you, the sound of tenacity. Last year, we promised real talk about our city, and today we're going to continue that conversation about California's paramount challenge, homelessness. Daily, we hear the frustrations from you. I'm at my wit's end. I'm sad for our city. You need to do something, Mayor. Homeless is that paramount issue, but here's the reality. Our state has 12% of our nation's total population, but 50% of the unsheltered homeless. Clearly, there's a systemic issue that's leading to more people entering homelessness than our cities have the capacity to address. In Bakersfield, in our metro area, which includes Oildale, there was a 30% increase in homelessness reported in this year's PIT count, point-in-time count. Every January, volunteers throughout our country count the number of homeless during a designated time period. This year in Kern County, we extended the time period to 3 days, a day more than in the prior year. We were grateful for a record number of volunteers who came out this year, and we were also blessed to have a warm day, which increased volunteer turnout and then heightened the activity of homeless where we could actually see them. I've often heard from service providers and other mayors across the nation that the point-in-time count is and can be somewhat unreliable. Locally, residents have shared their skepticism for what feels like an undercount of individuals. But as the Homeless Collaborative becomes more sophisticated in its methodology of counting, we're starting to get a clearer picture of the immense challenge that we face. Our homeless numbers are not acceptable. Too many people suffer on the streets. Too many of our residents, too many of our businesses, all of you experience the negative impacts of homelessness. Sadly, we're not alone. Cities across the United States, cities across our states, many of them are seeing that rise in homelessness. We are facing a housing, a mental health, and substance use crisis of epic proportions. Far too many homeless continue to live on our streets with debilitating mental health and substance use issues. Our streets. In the past, I've shared that for every 6 people we place into housing, 10 become newly homeless. But with our hot housing market, placing individuals in housing has become increasingly difficult. And now, for every 1 homeless person housed, 4 become newly homeless. What have we done? During COVID, we added 2 new shelters in the city of Bakersfield. We expanded 2 existing shelters. And as a result, Bakersfield has 11% fewer unsheltered persons than the state average. In other words, we're doing better in keeping people off the streets than most areas of our state, but that is not enough. The city-run Brundage Lane Navigation Center alone has taken 600 people off our streets. Just a few weeks ago, the United States Supreme Court handed down its grants pass opinion that affirmed local control in addressing homelessness. How will this impact Bakersfield? The city already has adopted ordinances that address homeless encampments and other impacts of homelessness. This ruling may provide some limited additional coverage in pursuing our enforcement efforts. But the problem is not enforcement. It is, as Christian was saying earlier, accountability. The city has increased our capacity to enforce ordinances that do not allow camping. The problem now is that there is very little accountability in the criminal justice and mental health systems. In April, BPD Impact made 193 arrests for quality of life crimes. 87% of those arrested were released in 15 hours. 15 hours. We need jail beds, we need detox and sober living beds to divert individuals from jail. We need residential beds for those with behavioral health needs. We need transitional housing. We need more permanent supportive housing and affordable housing. City staff will continue to explore all options with our agency partners to push for these needs. And as Bakersfield forges ahead in building out our programming, building out our enforcement, we call upon our fellow agencies to invest in homeless services. What's needed? Some of these individuals need confined beds and intensive psychiatric and medical services. To make meaningful progress, we need additional beds, housing, and services from agencies responsible for behavioral health. It's going to take all of us. Sadly, childhood trauma, PTSD, and depression can result in homelessness. Join me in viewing this video as Regina shares her story.
Hi, I'm Regina Garcia, and I've been battling depression my whole life. I was born here in Bakersfield, grew up in the system, so I was bounced around quite a bit. Both of my parents took off, and me and my brothers we went into different foster home systems. Never really found like a footing in home life, so I don't really like to say like where I'm from because I really don't have like a home setting. I have a 15-year-old daughter now, and she wanted to try to get to know her biological family, and we thought maybe we could try to have a physical and in-person relationship, and it just didn't work. And so it kind of led me into the situation where I'm at now. I had to work several jobs, but after the pandemic, my jobs got cut. I ended up having to move in with a friend, and you know, she couldn't help support us very long. The stress of being homeless and being a parent is unreal. You know, I feel like I failed my child in some way. I think you start blaming yourself, and then the depression gets harder and harder. You want to be there for your kid, but you don't want to be here in this world. I do battle with depression quite a bit, and I've battled with that my whole life. I also deal with some PTSD. You know, bouncing from home to home, you kind of start to feel worthless and think that you're not worthy of being loved and things like that, so the depression hits you pretty hard. Oh, when I have flashbacks, you know, it's almost like trying to put together a puzzle backwards, upside down. You know, and it feels like I'm that same little girl that was hurt way back then. I came to the Open Door Network back in February when I became homeless because my niece knew this place. So she brought me here knowing that I would be able to get some good help. Right now, my hopes and dreams, you know, just really get back on my feet again. I just want a 2-bedroom home for me and my daughter and continue to deal with the demons that I have, you know, working on my therapy and working on trying to be a better parent for my daughter. And I struggle a lot, you know, I struggle a lot with my depression. And I think my hopes and dreams is that one day I don't have to. I used to have a wonderful life. I played professional basketball. I lived all over the world. Circumstances happened, and this is where I'm at. I think the system needs to realize that, you know, it's not just one thing. It can be a million. But I would like to see, you know, some more services definitely put out there for the homeless.
Thank you to the Open Door Network, where Regina has found new hope and now has the support of a therapist. Regina affirmed the system needs to realize that it's not just one thing. It can be a million, but I'd like to see more services definitely put out there for the homeless. The good news is that over the past 3 years, big cities have successfully lobbied for major mental health and substance use reform. Care Court comes into effect in December. Individuals with severe mental illness or substance use disorders can be referred to receive a court-ordered treatment plan. SB 43 comes into effect in 2026. SB 43 will help persons who can't seek help on their own. They're so gravely disabled that they don't have the capacity to provide for their needs. Proposition funding will begin rolling out at the end of the year. This bond that voters approved in March funds new treatment beds and housing for people with severe mental health and substance use conditions. The city has been working to ensure that our region receives our fair share. And Abigail, make sure you take that back to the governor. What do we do in the meantime? You've asked us to remove people from the streets. To do so, we need more beds. Over the next year, the city will expand bed capacity to bring 150 more people off the streets. 50 beds at the city's Brundage Lane Navigation Center, a 40-space safe camp at St. Vincent de Paul on Baker Street, a 40-space safe camp at the county's M Street Navigation Center, including couples in the safe camps. This will increase our capacity by more than 150. At the same time, we're mitigating the unacceptable impacts to our community. We continue to improve the efficiency of our teams. Until this year, the city received reports about homelessness through various means, including our 911 call center. Today, I'm happy to announce the public launch of our Community Vitality Initiative, which we've been piloting internally. This initiative enables us to centralize requests for services and send out the appropriate teams. You can continue to report homelessness through our mobile app, but if you're facing a unique or an urgent challenge, you can now email communityvitality@bakersfieldcity.us. We're currently also piloting a hotline with our downtown business partners, and this number will soon be revealed to all of you. It won't be a secret any longer. It will be made public soon. This past year, our legislative advocacy extended beyond homelessness. I had the privilege of being our community's voice on the Big City Mayors Coalition, the League of California Cities Board of Directors, the U.S. Conference of Mayors, mayors and CEOs for U.S. housing investment. This year, the city rolled out, as Christian was saying, a federal legislative advocacy program in Washington, D.C. In our first year, we met with multiple cabinet secretaries, our federal delegation, congressional leadership. And during these meetings, we conveyed our city's, our community's unique perspective, and we worked to bring resources and attention to Bakersfield. We're building a presence, we're sharing our values, and making your voices heard. Over the past years, the legislature has focused on mental health. And this year, there's been a concerted effort to address the issues of organized retail theft. The city of Bakersfield has joined the big city mayors and Cal Cities in making this a priority. Just got back from a Cal Cities board meeting, and that really was a priority issue. Cities all over our state have been severely burdened by this lack of accountability for those who repeatedly victimize all of you, our businesses and residents. We don't wish to return to the days of mass incarceration. However, some repeat offenders need consequences. Our businesses, you've told me, you've had enough. We hear the sound of tenacity from all of you. We hear the sound of tenacity in the way that you as business leaders persevere under extremely challenging economic conditions. Many of the economic pain points that you feel fall outside our local control. However, for those factors within our local control, we do not want city government to get in your way. One factor within our control is the permitting process. Time is money. The more time we save you, the more money we save you. So we're creating a one-stop shop for permitting. We're also creating a white glove team that will help developers if they're running into issues with the process for you. Our need for a skilled workforce emerges in every conversation about economic development. How do we get workers with the talent and with the skills to fill both our current and our future jobs? Last June, the city launched the Entrepreneurship Grant Program to help small businesses get off the ground and succeed. Thanks to partnerships with a BC Launchpad, CSUB Small Business Development Center, the Kern County Black Chamber of Commerce, we've assisted more than 800 individuals. This has contributed to the creation of more than 200 new jobs. These partnerships are helping small businesses to be sustained. 32% of small businesses fail in the first 2 years, often due to ineffective business planning. The Entrepreneurship Grant Program fosters success by requiring entrepreneurs to develop business plan, just a basic business plan under the guidance of a technical advisor. And congratulations to Sweet Bites and Ice, who moved from a food truck into a permanent location. Congratulations also to A&B Natural Eco Market for opening a business that also provides a space for 10 local vendors. In 2021, the Big City Mayors Coalition urged the governor to support a youth jobs program to help cities develop our future workforce. The Bakersfield Youth Jobs Program has hired more than 200 youth who have completed 62,000 hours of public service. More than 50 have moved on to permanent jobs, and 75 are continuing their education or serving in the military. In April, we launched an apprenticeship program where youth receive trades training as they work on city vehicles. Thank you to our program administrator, Kern Community Foundation. Thank you, Aaron, and all, for inspiring a new generation of community and public servants. Education remains central to developing a skilled workforce, and we hear the sound of tenacity among our educators and community partners who together are finding new solutions. What do we do? What do we do when we have a workforce shortage? We grow our own. Our city has had a shortage of veterinarians, and we see the impact of our serious animal overpopulation. Bakersfield College is helping to fill that gap by training aspiring veterinarian technicians at its Southwest campus. BC continues to set up students for success by expanding its Finish Fast program. Students will be able to finish courses in a shortened time, and those programs will include mechanized agriculture, automotive technology, and psychology. To address our teacher shortage, and we have a severe one, CSUB will be launching an 8th teacher residency program this fall. CSUB also will be launching a Doctor of Nursing Practice program in fall of 2025. Yes, we need that, don't we? Thank you, Bakersfield College. Thank you, CSUB, for continuing to fill our community gaps. We really appreciate you. We continue to be encouraged by the heavy interest of developers. We have a better and a brighter economy ahead of us. Bios Health, a neuroscience technology company based in the UK, has announced the establishment of its West Coast hub at Bolt House Office Park. The center will provide companies with rapid response for clinical trials and pharmaceuticals and medical devices. The BIOS Hub will also attract an ecosystem of pharmaceutical and medical devices, medical companies, clinicians, and clinical trial partners, growing our diversity. Our community has been waiting a long time for development at the former site of the East Hills Mall. Residents often ask, when are we getting something on the east side? Get ready to celebrate the beginning of construction of City Lights in 2025 with a grand opening in 2026, yeah. The location will offer retail, food destinations, and gathering spaces with 335,000 square feet of space spread over 36 acres. The developers already have commitments for all the major tenant spaces, and they've already leased most of the out parcels, including a grocery store that residents will love, I promise you. We will be welcoming another large plaza in South Bakersfield. Crossroads Plaza by Castle & Cook will offer 786,000 square feet of retail and dining over 77 acres at Panama and Gosford. We're excited also to see the reboot of the long-awaited development at the southwest corner of Rosedale and Coffee. Thank you to established Southern California developers Sage Invesco and DJM Capital Partners. The commercial center includes over 375,000 square feet of upscale retail and food service with national brands. And yes, we are getting a Whole Foods. Yeah. The center is expected to break ground in late 2025, but it's coming. Economic benefits there will exceed $200 million each year. The Del Oro community in Southeast Bakersfield will welcome the Shops at the Vines, a 12-acre community retail commercial center that has attracted popular national and regional commercial tenants, including Superior Grocers. The commercial center by Pacificus 4 will break ground in mid-2025. Pacificus 4 also is developing Mulberry Village in Del Oro, a 40-acre residential development with 760 units that will break ground this year. Westbridge, Seven Oaks by Bolthouse Properties will bring more than 1,500 new home sites south of White Lane and west of South Allen, 1,500. The village will have multiple parks, including a park adjacent to a new K-8 school within the Panama District. Phase 1 includes a 520-unit apartment community and a 9-acre campus relocation of Laurel Glen Bible Church. We look forward to these and other game changers for our economy that will realize the tremendous assets we have as a city. They are going to stimulate future job growth. And just this morning, Dwayne Keithley informed me that Trader Joe's has signed a new lease expanding them by 50% in the Town and Country Shopping Center. Absolutely, a testament to success. Our growing city needs recreational amenities, and this year at the Bakersfield Sports Village, the city is adding 5 new football fields with lights and a concession stand. This will be one of the few places in California that will have 5 football fields side by side. And at the Mesa Marin Sports Complex, 4 additional softball fields will be opening in spring 2025, bringing the total to 8. Both of these amenities will create an opportunity to host large regional sports events. And this will create that much requested sports programming while spurring our local economy. 40 acres of the Bakersfield Sports Village have been set aside for family-friendly commercial development, including retail, eateries, and hospitality. So bring that on. We're hoping to soon announce a much sought-out amenity that families will really love. You will really love this. Secret right now. Sorry. Bakersfield is becoming a top choice for major events and tourism. Over the past year, Visit Bakersfield collected a record high $12.4 million in hotel tax. This milestone was driven by more than 60,000 nights booked for events. Many of these events were previously held in other cities, first-time events coming to Bakersfield, California. Yeah. And more's coming. Notable events in this coming year include the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce annual convention, bringing top business leaders from all over our state to Bakersfield. The Parallax Pacific Coast Cup soccer tournament, attracting over 100 teams from across southwestern United States, several softball association tournaments, and the American Water Ski Association National Championship, bringing top water skiers from all over the country. Any of you water ski? It's coming. Today, we've celebrated the sound of tenacity. Results when gritty people, that's you, the people of Bakersfield pursue the sound of something better. There's more work to be done. Let's persevere with intentionality, with optimism, and unity. We declare that Bakersfield will be sought out as a center of creative solutions and innovation. Let us together pursue a new depth of commitment, to join together, to come together as one, with our diverse strengths, with our talents, with our experience, and let's take our community to the next level and write the narrative of our future. Bakersfield's best days are still ahead, and I believe that greater things are yet to come in our city. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
So once again, we thank you for joining us for State of the City 2024. A special shout out to our presenting sponsors, Adventist Health and Kaiser Permanente. The programs on your table, there is a digital QR code. Follow along. The information and programming shared today will be in that link as well as on our website. And we wish you all a blessed day. Thank you.